In the ancient time, kingdoms like ancient Egypt, Rome, and China went through a serious economic downtime, and this was caused by wars, this was caused by drought, this was caused by diseases, and it really affected the buying power of people. The government started collecting less taxes from businesses and individuals. People could not buy things enough. Doesn't have enough money to even trade. The industrial revolution changed everything. Towards the 70s and 80s, businesses, the government changed the entire policy around businesses, that businesses could now take loans, borrow money and all of that to make more businesses, and that started helping out. That businesses now started doing better off. Companies started producing more, and as that was helping, as though it was helping, something serious happened later, that productions were now so high that people could not buy much compared to what was being produced. You know, there were more production, but then there was less purchase of what was being produced, and this started affecting the companies too. You know, remember I said earlier that companies were now borrowing to make this production, and by the end of the day, nothing is coming out. They were making sales, but people didn't have enough purchasing power. So what now later happened was that the companies couldn't, to help the situation, what will always happen when a company goes bankrupt, the company started laying off staffs, they started reducing the purchasing, they started reducing the number of quantity of what they are producing. So in the 1980s, this kind of situations are often called panics. Reason is because the financial markets would always panic. Why? Because banks, that's in a moment like this, that's when banks started closing, companies started closing, governments started having issues with finances and all of that. In the 80s, this time downtimes, we are called panics. Reason is because the financial market would panic. Banks in a moment like that fold, businesses crashed, unemployment soars, and this started becoming disturbing. Fast forward the 1980s, seasons like this were called panics. Reason is because the financial market would always panic because banks fold and close up, businesses around the world start shutting down, and unemployment because of that starts rising. Then came the stock market crash of 1929, leading to the Great Economic Depression. At this time, it was till today the worst economic crisis in modern history. As at that time, businesses closed, banks closed up in the numbers, and unemployment rose so much, and this started becoming frightening to the entire society. That was when government and economists stopped using the word depression, stopped using the word pandemic, and they decided to use a more mild, softer term for it, and that's what brought us the term recession. So today, recession simply means a general decline in economic activities that lasts for several weeks, months, and probably years. These are often as a result of reduced spending, unemployment, lower production, and so many other things. In a simple term, see recession as, in this analogy, whereby in a market where there is a trader, there is a farmer, and there is a carpenter, and everyone is buying together from themselves. But one day, farmer had low harvest, and hence, because he has low harvest, he has few, just a little stuff to spend, to sell. Now, the farmer and the tailor, fashion designer, or whoever, and the carpenter who are trying to buy cannot buy more, and as a result of that, the carpenter doesn't have enough funds. Now, the carpenter cannot, now that same period, the carpenter also cannot produce more of his furnitures because of one reason or the other, meaning he can only sell a few. And what does that mean? If you can only sell a few, it simply means you only have fewer funds to receive, right? So in a situation like that, you notice that the entire economy is not going to be stable. That is what is called recession, economic recession. I believe that with this, the terms has been made much simpler for you. To learn more of these business terms, I will encourage you to stay connected to Brandogen across all our social media platforms and keep learning value. This is Brandogen, and this is the oxygen for business growth. Cheers.